Get fucked. You bird scum. You fucking animal. It sounded like someone coming down the stairs. I figured my nephew'd be here. It is getting late. Go ahead and toss him an invite. He'd get to come in for the final stretch. And once we beat this, I'm definitely getting off here. Calling her a day. It'll be a really good stopping point, though. Oh, we've got all the main skills. I'm just gonna go ahead and pump Master Blaster up before we get to that awkward middle stage again. I'll probably go Shields Break, you get more damage. It's really specific because it doesn't tell you this, but you have to wait for your shield to charge all the way back up for it to proc again. It's not just constant either, it's only like 8 seconds. But, damage. When those specific things do happen. Damage. I better mute show. Alright, heading back to Old Haven.
That's what I want. Whoa!
Are you AFK, Justin?
No. I just kill me spider things.
Oh, okay. Honestly, before we do this, we should check the bounty boards, because there might be more quests in this exact area. I'll have them knocked out. What was it, the New Haven bounty board or the Middle of Nowhere bounty board got more missions? Or both?
Not sure.
I'll just check both then. Mistakes were made. Oh, nice shot. No substitute. Oh shit. Rips. Best content on Twitch. Keep it up. We're doing great. Okay. New Haven bounty board. I think had some missions. Nope. What the hell did he say had more? Must be Middle of Nowhere. Black. Black. I'm willing to try it out. Get a new freaking shield. It's getting to be that time. Ah, Crazy Earl.
I can't access
What?
any of these. Oh, there we go. This one I can. Can I actually click on this one though?
It's on my screen. It's closed. Door closed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's supposed to be one that's random. Sometimes there, sometimes not.
Oh.
But then when it is there, it's got a much higher drop chance of being good stuff.
Gotcha.
Mechanics. Alright, so Crazy Earl, Crazy Earl. Was that Treacherous Landing? I think it's the area right before Crazy Earl Scrapyard. That's probably where he's at.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Oh, bum, bum. What do you got for us, Earl? I'll know very shortly if we did a 100% run or not, because you'll pop a, like a 90-point achievement for doing 100%.
I probably won't get it, but... It sucks to have to go way back to the start.
Well, the good thing is, if
All the shit that I skipped.
we're all together at the beginning, we could just do it again for True Vault Hunter mode, then you don't even gotta worry about it. You can do the same exact thing. It doesn't even have to be in one playthrough, just so long as at one point or another you did them. It'd probably be the easiest to do them in the old one, but if you wanted to make progress, you could do them in the new playthrough and hit the level cap.
Fair enough. Which is...
69. Heyo!
Ah.
That's seriously at 69.
Okay.
There's a gearbox. It's 69, but then when we do the Moxie's Arena, you can get 4 extra skill points. Which is why it's going to be worth doing after this. Because I can really push a build over the top. So this guy, you may remember, becomes a persistent story between Borderlands 1 and 2. This side quest spawns much bigger implications later down the road.
Oh.
Yes, sir. I won't spoil it though. As we go through these Borderlands in prep of 3, I'm sure you'll make it yourself and see what you think.
Sounds good.
Triple sevens. A lot of terrible scope. I don't remember these guys being here. These things are not worth any XP for me. How about you?
56, yeah.
A little better. I'm getting 10s and 11s out of these assholes. Oh well, stuff to shoot.
I'm past them if you want.
So good. I mean, if anything, we're building our challenges up. That's XP.
Okay.
The death moan. GG. Fuck these level 27s. We're stomping them.
Yep.
He really got stomped. Nothing left to bury.
Oh. And still almost got one shot. Jesus.
These elementals start to hit so hard. Fuck with it's Lilith. Lilith tearing up the ground under our feet. That was an elemental cyclone. Brick and it's right in the middle of that shit.
Fucking no chance.
Nice shot. Such a long, winding in on itself path. I think it's actually just a big circle. They've just taken out giant chunks of it, so we have to go about it in the most elaborate way.
Yep. I have a few areas like this.
Yeah, it's like they had one texture and they had to build all the maps in the same size and the same format, and then just designed around that. Like a large texture and a small texture they make the dungeons in. Like Old Haven and the Crystal Caves are both like these really small enclosed areas. They cram a lot of detail into Old Haven though. The disrespect. Oh, the DPS of Brick's kill skills. You've got to get the kills or he's trash, but if you get the kills, enjoy being a wrecking squad for a little bit. Yes, so this little guy will tie in later. Keep him somewhere in mind. I don't know where the hell he's going now. We definitely freed him, so... Why do we still have an icon back there?
Mm-hmm.
It's got this little hole now. Oh, okay, that's good. It was this if you want it. I think it was. Yeah, TDR. Sure, level 22 green. Right up your alley.
Oh boy.
What's your take on the whole Epic game launcher Borderlands exclusive? Mal, I don't care about it one iota. I'm on Xbox. I think that Steam had a monolithic monopoly for a long time, and it took 80% of the revenue away from the developer. And Epic shows up to be a competitor, and everybody for some reason has got tears in their beer because Valve can't make another billion without any roadblocks, basically. Let's have another launcher on your desktop, and it's a PvE game, so I don't have any dog in the fight. I'm on Xbox. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's completely overblown. I think there's so many positive things to focus on, Mal, and they find the one thing that is a super dubious negative, you know, if a negative, 6 months of exclusivity, and that's the story that's getting run with of all the many things in Borderlands happening right now. I don't think people like it. And this one, they decided to cling to. It's the last drop of water. Does yo, damn it, water! Oh shit! Damn it, water! You become the bit boss. The bit boss. You have funded the war against the pink. 500 bits. Damn it, water! Thank you very much for that, sir. I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And you become the bit boss. The bit boss. Thank you very much, water. You just had the dirtiest, wettest day of work. Here's 500 bits. I'm glad you're off and you've got the weekend off, right, Walter? Could actually be potentially solid. What's your take on it though, Mal? Like the last drops of water in the desert? I agree something. I mean, it's the one negative story. Borderlands is huge in the you know, the trending news and the gaming news right now. But Borderlands 3 is coming up in the current cycle of that there's about 24 YouTubers who make a really good living by making outrage videos. And what else do we get on Reddit for but to bitch anymore? So it's like old habits die hard. Where's our stuff to bitch about? They found the one thing that there is to be angry about, and that's become the story. Not all the, you know, Game of the Year edition being free on PC and the many improvements that appear to be coming to the third one, like having both instance loot and procedural loot, and you can turn it on and off at a fly, that you can still play this game offline. You know, it's sad to say. That's a huge deal now. I'm getting on PS4 launch. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of like us then, Mal. You don't got much dog in the fight. You're gonna be on console anyway, like us. Thank you again, Water. Just started downloading, but this morning I'm gonna feed me and the kid. Then, if you can, you could carry me some levels. Yeah, that sounds good, Water. I'm almost done for the day today. We're about to beat this, and I think we'll be done. But definitely on our next session, which will be on Sunday. Get on in here, sir. Get on in here and let's fucking do it. That'll give you a good chance to get a bunch of, you know, like little stuff done, like getting your gun spaces so you can carry 4 weapons and stuff. Yeah, then we'll be happy to do that, Water. I do think there's more to the Epic situation than just a launcher. Explain to me, though. I mean, the only other thing I hear is I don't want multiple launchers for multiple games. Alright, that's fine. The Borderlands 3 launcher is going to be on Epic. You just have to download another launcher that's like 500 kilobits, maybe. And it's a low drag launcher. It's clean. And the developer gets more money. So, you know, there's all this, oh my god, everyone's in a fucking kerfuffle. They got their feathers ruffled. Because Valve has competition? Because the developers get more money? People don't like publishers. We've talked about this a ton. People, oh, EA should die in a fire and all this crazy shit people say. Okay, here's how you get rid of EA if you don't like EA. A launcher like Epic. Epic will be the middleman. And they'll give your developer 80% of the revenues, and they'll get them control of the price. That's how you get rid of the publisher. I don't think you should get rid of publishers. I think publishers are actually a boon to the industry, and it wouldn't be as big as it is without publishers. But if you agree that most people seem to agree with this idea that we need to get rid of EA and, you know, Blizzard Activision is bigger than EA ever thought of being, and yet that one's not evil, then I don't see how you wouldn't support the Epic launcher. Right, they don't care about Blizzard. That's what's weird. Blizzard Activision is just as big, if not bigger, than Tencent Interactive, which has become this, you know, truly monolithic because it's, you know, it's got a monopoly over all of China, and it's here, and it owns half of Epic almost. Just Epic owns 50.6% of itself. Tencent owns the rest. But yet, if Activision Blizzard make a game, it's the Lord came down and gave us one more miracle to witness his greatness, and that they own, God, 30% of the industry at least. That's no fucking big deal. But the second Epic decides they're gonna do a launcher, people fucking lose their shit.
You wanna fight? Don't worry, I'll make this quick.
But it's okay, because, alright. It's honestly just a very vocal minority that are upset about it and causing people to feel like, oh, is this a thing we're supposed to be upset about? I guess we should be upset about this. The vast majority of people that are Borderlands fans just don't give a shit. We're just excited to play Borderlands and have the 3rd coming out. And we're not going to engage in this kind of drama because it has made so many games toxic. And maybe next time for sure. Keep those episodes coming on YouTube. I'm loving it, man. Well, thank you all. It's really nice of you. Sunday, man. Sunday. We're gonna beat the Destroyer here this evening. We should, unless it gets too late. But should beat him, and then I'm gonna call her. But then next session, you're in here, Water. Play it on your own. Seriously, if you've never played one, go ahead and play it on your own and get accustomed to it, so you can just jump right in with us. That'd be sick. I'd look forward to it. So then we got something coming in. That should give us like 4 people, right? That'll give us everybody we need. All the loot will be ours, fellas. I think it's mainly security issues in the Tencent thing. Epic still has the majority of its shares and still has executive control. Tim Sweeney is still the CEO and executive of Epic Games. And because he is the majority shareholder, he still has autonomy. Like, the Tencent thing is sketchy. I made a long video on my YouTube covering it. It's not sketchy, it's business. But it's a business practice that, you know, I don't know that China has the antitrust laws that the US has, and it's obviously, you know, questionable, but all the same, Tencent doesn't own Epic. Just short. Tim Sweeney does. And he's clearly really smart. So they're still, you know, autonomous. Yeah, it's unsavory. You know, it's kind of a merger made in hell, but Tim Sweeney's a businessman. The larger point still stands what I just said a moment ago. Tim Sweeney still owns 50.6% of Epic shares. It's something like that. You can look it up. I covered it in a video. And so he literally, if he wants to dissolve the company, he can fucking dissolve the company. Starting my Borderlands 1 playthrough Saturday. Nice. Hopefully you have fun with it, Mal. It's a great game, man. Great game. Swear it all started for the looter shooter, yeah? Yeah, no, I think you're right, Simon. Unsavory business practice. I think you're right. My uncle already had his email registered to EGS before he signed up. The Epic game site. I think there's a difference, Mal, between business insecurity and growing pains of launching a totally new product. Kind of like Google Fiber has had a lot of issues. I read a really good article on, I think it was The Atlantic, about what happens when Google Fiber leaves. Because Google Fiber has failed in some cities, namely Louisville, Kentucky. They tried to not bury the wires. They tried an experiment, and it failed. And now Louisville's got to clean them up. And I think it's similar to that. Like, the intention of Google Fiber is good. You know, break up the ISPs, make sure there's not a monopoly, offer an extremely competitive internet speeds to more rural areas. You know, this debate gets deeper from there, but we'll leave it there. But it's had some growing pains, some failures, and that's just business. I don't think that they're trying to be unethical. I think they're trying to be the opposite of that by giving the developers more money for their products. You guys might already know this number. Some of you will. Some of you might not. But a game is marked up about 80%. It used to be that the developers were the very lowest. They make the game, but they were the very lowest person on the totem pole. The publisher would sell the game to Walmart for $5 or $10. Of that, only like $3 would go to the developer. And then Walmart would go and mark it up $45. Now, the only reason that it's still $60 is because all of the publishers agreed on what's called a minimum market value. Basically, so that these are publicly traded companies, so that they have a minimum profit. They know that the games are at least worth this much across the board and nobody undercuts one another. It's a gentleman's agreement in the market. But it still makes you wonder why the hell your digital games are $60 still. If you know that the games are actually only being sold for $5 or $10 from the publisher to the merchandisers, the vendors, then why the hell is there still the Walmart markup, which used to be there because of packaging, was a part of it, on digital games? Which is all to say, if we're going to start saying, oh, Epic Games Launcher, this isn't ethical because they're going to compete with Valve for once, someone's finally going to do it. There are so many things in this industry you can dig into that are much, much darker than that. This is some of the weakest drama I've ever heard, man. It's nothing. And now people are review bombing Borderlands. Toxicity. I like Borderlands 1 more than 2. Right on, right on. I can't go that far with my opinion, but I respect it. I respect it. I think 2 is just a better one, but I do think 2 did some things better than 2, for sure. Weapon proficiencies, gore. The scaling. Let's see if this fucking claptrap spawned. Oh. I know there's a claptrap in this area. I remember him. Yeah, but 1 is fantastic.